What's up, guys? It's your boy back at it again with another video. So a combination of 4 wins or 4 losses to the Arizona Diamondbacks, 2 wins, 2 losses, whatever the combination may be, and this thing gets cut off. I'm gonna do it live, so you guys stay tuned. So when this happens, it could be this weekend versus the Giants, and that'll be great. So this video is gonna be straight up about the Dodgers and the youth movement, also within the MLB. So just so you guys know, the Dodgers aren't the only team in Major League Baseball who have the youth and are providing a lot of success. But is the window of opportunity closing in on the Dodgers? I see a lot of people actually saying that the Dodgers are getting old and there's not a lot of time left for them. So is that window closing? I'm going to look at the other teams and look at the Dodgers' current roster and what they have going on, who they call up, and to determine to see if the Dodgers' window of opportunity is closing in on them. And before I get into that, the criteria that I have are: first, the maximum age of a player is 25 years old. Second, if it's a batter, 70 games is the minimum requirement for that stat to count. And third, for pitchers, a minimum of 40 innings pitched or 15 games pitched in. So with that being said, let's jump to it.
What? That's the pitch.
Currently right now in MLB, the Dodgers rank 21st as far as average age. So the teams ahead of them are either fully invested in having a young roster, are mixing and matching and trying to figure out how, but they're failing between vets and youth. Or lastly, you're just completely failing and your name is San Francisco Giant. So current teams right now that are actually younger than the Dodgers and in contention, by contention I mean they're either the wild card team or the division leading team, and those are the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 17th right now in average age among MLB. And they've got 4 batters that are 25 and under who have played in the very least 70 games, and 4 pitchers who have appeared in the very least 15 games. But the ones that stand out the most are the 24-year-old Tommy Edman, and he's a standout offensive juggernaut. He's got a 1.8 WAR, wins above replacement, a 280 batting average, a 743 OPS, 11 stolen bases, and the 23-year-old Jack Flaherty from the Flaherty. I've tried to see my Irish, see if I got it. Flaherty, the little homie Flaherty. the Jack Flaherty from the pitching staff, who's got a 3.14 ERA, a 1.042 WHIP, and a 10.4 strikeouts per 9. So they've got a couple of good players, and they're 17th right now among MLB. But those are the 2 standouts for them. The Tampa Bay Rays right now are at 18th with an average age of 27.8 years old, which is a .1 older than the St. Louis Cardinals. They have 3 offensive players that are 25 and under, and Austin Meadows is a standout young star. He's batting 284, 904 OPS, which is incredible, 27 home runs, a 2.9 wins above replacement. At 24 years old, they got Hunter Wood standing out from the 6 pitchers under the criteria with a 2.48 ERA, a 182 ERA plus, and Tyler Glasnow with an astonishing 1.86 ERA, a 242 ERA plus, a 910 WHIP, and a 10.2 strikeouts per 9. So the Tampa Bay Rays are statistically better as far as the teams between St. Louis and Tampa Bay, and they're actually a little bit younger, just slightly older than the St. Louis Cardinals, but they are performing a lot better. The other team ahead of the Dodgers at 19th is the Cleveland Indians with an average age of 28 years old. And boy, do they have a hitter in that 25-year-old Francisco Lindor. He's batting 297, 881 OPS, a 125 OPS plus, and 27 home runs. Their pitching staff looks solid with 2 young studs in Aaron Civale, who has a 1.94 ERA, a 246 ERA plus, a 1.032 WHIP, and Shane Bieber, who in his 29 starts has a 3.24 ERA, a 1.012 whip, and 11.1 strikeouts per nine. So their pitching staff's got two young studs. Their hitting is led by Lindor. So this team is looking pretty good. I don't know that they're going to win it all, but their future looks pretty good. By far, and this is my personal opinion, the team with the best record, the best incorporation of youth and veteran are going to be the Dodgers. Yes, I'm going to be biased, obviously, but let me present you the facts. They've gone and incorporated prospects, literally called up some players to replace some injuries or just to see what they're about, like Edwin Rios, Will Smith, Matt Beattie, and Gavin Lux. And they were immediate impacts in the roster. Let's not forget that 3-game series that weekend against the Colorado Rockies where Will Smith, Alex Verdugo, and Matt Beattie all hit walk-off home runs. Yes, it might have been the Colorado Rockies, but at the end of the day, they got it done. Unfortunately, I can't really say that's part of our team and that's what I'm looking for because they don't meet the criteria that I put in place. But what I will mention is Cody Bellinger. Look, I don't need to put the stats. I don't need to explain what he's about and what he's done statistically. We all seen it. Offensively, defensively as well. And he's been in right field, center field, first base. He's been all over the place. Although I will mention Alex Verdugo. Unfortunately, right now he's injured, and I don't know if he'll make it back in time to be in the NLDS or even help out towards the end of September. But he was putting up some numbers, and he had a shot at the Rookie of the Year award. He was batting .294 with an .817 OPS. And also, let's not forget Corey Seager. Although the stats don't show his greatness, he was out for a significant amount of time after his injury. But he came back, and all of a sudden, he's tied or he's led the league in doubles. So imagine the time that he missed. If he hadn't, how much further ahead he'd be right now. But he's finding his way back in and he's figuring it out. So those are three offensive players the Dodgers currently have that are 25 and under. And leading that is Cody Bellinger, who's only 23 years old. And he's going to probably win the MVP this year. I'm saying probably because he took a huge step back in statistically. But I think he's still going to win the MVP. That's just me. Again, bias. As for the pitching staff, there's a couple of pitchers that I can't mention because of the criteria that I said, like Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin and Caleb Ferguson. I mean, I set that criteria up and I can't put them in, but we all see what they're about, what they're doing. The ones that I will mention are Julio Urias, who's only 22 years old, and he's already got 4 saves. He's been the long reliever and he's been a spot starter. Granted, he's had some issues outside of baseball, but again, he's done his work and he's doing what he's doing as far as baseball goes. And then there's Walker Buehler. So again, the pitching staff is not fully complete, but they've got 2 great players who could potentially be incorporated into the starting rotation if needed. If someone goes down, someone could easily replace them and go in there effectively immediately. So in conclusion, is the Dodgers window closing? Absolutely not. So not only do they have proven youth within the current roster, but they have implemented prospects that have had immediate success with the organization. So there's no doubt that the future looks bright and the current present looks great as well. What I will say though is the window of patience that us Dodger fans have if we were to lose a 3rd World Series is going to be unprecedented and unacceptable. So the window is obviously not closing, but our patience is running thin. 31 years is way too long. I was born 1 year before the World Series. Obviously, I don't know shit about the World Series and what happened other than looking at that VHS. It's a damn shame that I've had to sit through 3 San Francisco Giants World Series. Fucking bastards. So with that being said, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys think the Dodgers are going to do? Should they move some of these prospects and some of this youth so they could bring in some proven talent? And if so, who do you guys want to see? I'm LAJ, and I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.